hang out in your seat for here. You are tuned in and the Zambury Talk Radio with my mommy, Jessica Cancel.
Besos y abrazos a todo mi gente. Hey, how are y'all doing? For all y'all that worship this pagan holiday of New Year's, I'm going to let y'all know something, that Caesar enacted this whole New Year's thing to observe the god Janus, which is the January, named after, which a lot of their, calendar is named after some type of god that they worship. That's why I stopped celebrating Christmas. And let me tell you, when I stopped celebrating Christmas, I think this was the first year that I stopped celebrating Christmas, or did I celebrate it last year? I stopped celebrating Christmas this year, in the whole traditional sense. And my stress level was completely down. I'm talking about completely down. Like, I wasn't stressing, no anxious, no anxiety about buying gifts, going from store to store, trying to find the perfect gift for whoever, breaking the bank, buying a whole bunch of food for one meal. You understand what I'm saying? So it was like a whole, weight off my shoulders the day that I decided that I wasn't going to celebrate Christmas. And knowing why Christmas is celebrated is a whole thing in itself. Now, a lot of y'all probably already know, what's up with Christmas. Y'all don't care because y'all doing it for the kids. Everybody want to blame the kids. Y'all going to go to hell for them kids. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to let you know that now. But whatever, you know what I'm saying? You do you, I do me, and we just going to, keep it moving. So anyway, it's been a while, you guys. I was supposed to put this podcast out on the 1st. Now, mind you, I don't write non-scripted, you know what I'm saying? This is off the top of dome, all the time, off the top of dome, because I want to just get some raw energy out. You know what I mean? Now, as I was saying, that this was supposed to go out on the 1st, right? The 1st or the 2nd. But we're here now, so it's okay. And we're going to start it off right. Y'all know there's a website, exemplary-media.com, of course. If you don't know, now you know, so you ain't got to ask nobody. You feel me? So, I kind of did have a subject that I want to speak on. Because a lot of people say, they ask God, they say, oh, if God is such a good God, why does he let bad things happen to good people? Right? Why do bad things happen to good people? It's because everything has an effect, right? A cause and effect, right? And then everything has a equal and opposite reaction, right? We knew that from physics and all that stuff. So, let me tell you a story, okay? Let's say that you are going for an interview, right? And so you get a job or whatever. They want you to come in for the interview or whatnot. And you go in for the interview. You got a date. They set you up with a date. The second interview is, of course, on a different date. They set you up. You're good, right? So the day the interview comes, it's a whole thing. So mind you, you're at home with your family. Y'all eating breakfast, chilling. You about to go in to work, and you get a call. You get an important call, and it's something that it cannot be delayed. It cannot be rescheduled. It's something that it has to be done at that time, at that hour of your scheduled interview. So now you have a dilemma, because now you're double booked. Okay? and there was multiple time slots. So you call in and you ask the person that scheduled you the interview. It's like, hey, something really important came up. Do you mind if I can get an earlier time frame, because I really have this emergency I have to take care of, and I really need to get in earlier. The person on the other end of the line, they tell you, oh, I'm sorry, miss, I'm sorry, sir. Unfortunately, we can't do that because there's no more options available. And there's only one, what's going on here? Sorry, people. There's only one more slot, and it's right, it's 30 minutes before you, but you have the second slot. I understand that, miss. I appreciate that, but at the same time, I need an earlier slot. Is there a way that we can switch? The person on the other line, I'm sorry, ma'am, sir, unfortunately, we can't do that. The person is already confirmed for that time. Unfortunately, I apologize for the inconvenience. So now, you're stressing. You're anxious. You're like, what am I going to do? And you're upset, like, dang, they could have just switched us. It wouldn't be a problem. They could have just told them something, whatever. You're making all these excuses on why this person did not switch your time. Okay? So, boom. Excuse me. Moving along. You get, you're moving through life. You know what I mean? It's getting closer to the interview date. So now, let's go to the opposite end. The person that has a time slot ahead of you. This person is an older gentleman, older woman, and they are making their way to work one day. And they knew that, they had this interview set up, but they, trying to do good at work, put in their 2 weeks once they know they got the job, how a person with integrity would do it, right? So they're going to work, and one day, they head out to work, they jump in their car, get on the freeway. On the way to work, they have a heart attack. On the way to work, have a heart attack. Get in a really bad accident, really bad car accident. And now they're in the hospital. Okay? So, you get where I'm going here, right? So the next day, that interview was supposed to take place, but they can't make it to the interview because they're in the hospital. Okay? Now, the person, they relayed the information, through family or husband or wife or whoever. They won't be able to make it to the interview. This person is in the hospital. We apologize, whatever. So, now, guess what? The slot opens. And even though it's an unfortunate situation that made this slot open, they're like, well, we can't call this person, which is you. You're that person. Since they wanted an earlier slot and now one became available. So they call you and they tell you, hey, mister, the slot is available. They didn't explain how it came available. They didn't go into detail or anything like that. All you know is that the slot is available and you're happy because now everything has fallen into place. Now you're able to go to the interview and take care of your emergency like you wanted to do in the beginning. You don't know why this slot came available. You don't know that this person had a heart attack and had a very terrible accident and is in the ICU, near death, and breathing machines. You don't know none of that. All you know is that the slot became available and you're happy. Okay? So, that right there, that little story is part, I wanna say that is part of the reason why bad things happen to good people. Because something good is happening to somebody on the opposite end of whatever unfortunate situation that you may find yourself in. Now, this is just a theory. I'm not saying that this is true every time, because sometimes you reap what you sow. Other times it's just an unfortunate situation that happens, and there's some type of lesson there that needs to be taught, and it needs to be taught in this type of way. So that is my theory on why bad things happen to good people. Now, this story is very relatable because one of my best friends had a situation like this. Not exactly like this, but kind of like this, to where they had an appointment, and because somebody ended up in a hospital, their appointment time got bumped up, and they received what they were supposed to receive, or they received something that they was wanting, and it was a blessing. So that just goes to say that don't think that just because you're in an unfortunate circumstance that somebody else is not receiving a blessing, because that may very well be the case. Now, in this life and time that we are living in, where people are very selfish, people are very egotistical, it's about me, 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 you're not looking at the broader picture. You're not looking at all the players involved. You don't know what the situation that you find yourself in can be a hindrance or detrimental to somebody else's life. You don't know how the situation came up to where you're having favor in any situation. You don't know what happened. All this to say is that don't take nothing for granted. Somebody may have to suffer for your blessing. Okay? So, excuse me. So with that being said, I just want to take a time to pause and to reflect. Okay? This January, looking back on the last 12 months, everything that happened, the good, bad, ugly, and different, be grateful for every single moment, because nothing happens by chance. Nothing happens by coincidence. Everything is designed. Everything is designed to the detail by our Father God that is in heaven. Everything. And Romans 8:28 says that all things, not some things, not these things, not those things, but all things work together for the good, for those who love God and who are called according to his purpose. All things, you guys. All things. So don't think because you're in a certain situation and the situation don't look pleasing, it's uncomfortable. Don't think that this is not going to work out for your betterment, for your good, for your prosperity, for anything that is to give you another little tweak in your life that makes you a better person. It may not be comfortable. It may not feel good, but everything works for the good. Everything works for our betterment. Everything works for our blessing if we choose to look at it that way. We have to choose the eyes that we use to look at things so that we can see the good in everything. Because if you can see the good in everything, your life changes. Your life changes. That anxiety, that depression, that worry, all that stuff goes away because you're looking at things differently. You're seeing things through God's eyes and not through your own eyes. Your natural eyes can only see sin, depravity, not the blessings that God has seen fit for your life. He worked out everything already from beginning to the end. All you have to do is walk in it and walk by faith and do your best to do your best. And that's it. That's pretty much it. I really thank you guys for being here today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you if you have been listening for a while. If you're a new listener, I appreciate your support. Don't be scared. You can share me on your social media. Anywhere. Anywhere you are, I want to be. Okay? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Stop playing with me. Put me everywhere. Okay? Stop playing with me. Just put me everywhere. You understand? So this is basically what my podcast is about. My podcast is about life situations. My podcast is about life. And I go through life and I share my experiences, hoping that it'll be able to help somebody else on your journey. And that's all that is. I really appreciate the time that I have with you guys. I really thank you for tuning in, giving your support, sharing, liking, subscribing to the newsletter. The website should be up, so you should be able to put your email there, and you'll get updates when a podcast drops, so you can be in the know. So yeah, I really appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys have a blessed day. Peace.
Hello guys, Jada Best here. To show my mommy support, please like, share, and subscribe to Exemplary Talk Radio. Thank you.